Hey everyone, welcome back to JDB Selects. If you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. Alright, let's get into my NRL tips for round 19 2022. Alright, going over my round 18 results, we only managed to tip 5 out of 8. Personally, I do think Cowboys were hard done by against the Sharks. The Tigers almost got around the B-side Panther and the Storm slumped to their 3 straight loss. The first game of round 19 has the 6th place Parramatta Eels hosting the 5th place Brisbane Broncos at CommBank Stadium, Sydney. The Eels managed to string together back-to-back wins for the first time since round 12 with a 28-18 point victory over the Warriors, despite a competitive first half and a late push from the visitors. Despite missing key Origin players, the Broncos only just managed to get past the Titans by 4 points last week in a low-scoring thriller on the Gold Coast. The Eels have won 6 of the past 7 and go into this one on a 5-game winning streak against the Broncos. Brisbane haven't beaten Parramatta in Sydney since 2016 and are yet to win a game at CommBank Stadium, losing all 3 of their appearances by a whopping combined 24 points to 112. However, I am going to take the Broncos by 1 to 12 points, as although the Eels have continued to win and go into this one with history on their side, I think the Broncos are the better team and can get it done in Sydney. The first game on Friday sees the 11th placed St George Illawarra Dragons up against the 8th placed Manly Sea Eagles at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, Sydney. The Dragons got put to the sword by the Roosters last Saturday despite leading by 2 at halftime, going down 54 points to 26, having been outscored 42-12 in the second half. The Sea Eagles thumped the Knights at home, with a similar 28-6 point second half thrashing, however Manly were on the right end of it. The Dragons have an outstanding 65% win rate against the Sea Eagles and have won 7 of the past 10 meetings. Manly haven't won in Kogarah since 2014, and the last time these two sides met there the Dragons put on a 34-4 thumping. I'm going to tip Manly to win this game by 13+. I think the Dragons could have easily been 0-5 in their last 5 outings, and Manly only seem to be getting better as the season's gone on and they've adapted their game play without Tommy Turbo. The final game on Friday is the 13th placed Newcastle Knights taking on the 9th placed Sydney Roosters at McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle. The Knights suffered their 12th loss of the season last Saturday at the hands of the Manly Sea Eagles, going down by 30 points at Four Pines Park. The Roosters snapped their 4-game losing streak despite trailing at half-time with a half-century flogging of the Dragons, running in 7 tries to 2 in the second half and scoring 9 total. The Knights have already beaten the Roosters by 14 points this year back in round 1, however, slipped in form not long after. The Roosters have a great record against Newcastle, having won 14 of the past 17 games and will no doubt be looking to avenge the round 1 loss. I'm going to take the Roosters by 13+. In the last 10 games only 1 game has been decided by less than 14 points, and I can see another blowout on the cards as the Roosters look to make a run into the top 8. Super Saturday gets underway with the 10th placed Canberra Raiders hosting the 12th placed New Zealand Warriors at Joe Stadium, Canberra. The Raiders managed to beat the Melbourne Storm in Melbourne by 4 points thanks to a desperate try-saver on Jerome Hughes in the dying moments of the match. The Warriors went down to the Parramatta Eels last Friday despite a competitive first half in which they showed great improvements in defence and a willingness to keep fighting, something they've lacked for a majority of the season. Both sides have been evenly matched from day one, with 22 and 21 wins each. The Raiders blew an 8-point halftime lead to the Warriors back in round 8 before Shaun Johnson claimed the Golden Point win in the 82nd minute. The Warriors have also won 3 of the last 4 games in Canberra. Now I'm going to be potentially blinded by bias here and take the Warriors to win by 1 to 12 points. I like the defense resolve I saw from the boys against the Eels last week and must back them home here. The second game on Saturday is a top-of-the-table showdown with the first-placed Penrith Panthers hosting the 4th-placed Cronulla Sharks at Bluebet Stadium, Penrith. The Sharks managed to beat the 2nd-placed North Queensland Cowboys last week, however I personally believe they were on the receiving end of some calls by the referees that may have been fair in the eyes of the law but changed the momentum of the game nonetheless. Cronulla have an outstanding record against Penrith, having won 13 of the past 19 games that included a 7-game winning streak from 2016 to 2019. However, the Panthers have won 4 of the past 5 and only lost the last game by 1 point during the Origin period last year with players being rested. I'm going to take the Panthers by 13+. I think that with Sione Katoa missing for Cronulla and all of Penrith's origin stars fresh from a week off, that the Panthers come out firing at home. And the final game on Saturday has the 7th-placed South Sydney Rabbitohs taking on the 4th-placed Melbourne Storm at Accor Stadium, Sydney. The Rabbitohs took down the Bulldogs in a high-scoring game, with Latrell Mitchell's presence lifting the side dramatically. The Storm not only lost Ryan Papenhuyzen, they also lost their 3rd straight game, this time at home to the Canberra Raiders. Melbourne have an insane record against the Rabbitohs, having won 31 of their 36 encounters and go into this game having won 7 straight against South Sydney. The Rabbitohs have only beaten the Storm twice since 2010 and haven't beaten them at Accor Stadium since 2013. However, I am going to take the Rabbitohs this week by 1 to 12 points. I think that not only are the Rabbitohs due a win, but the Storm are very low on confidence and are lacking too many key players. Kicking the action off on Sunday is the 14th-placed Canterbury Bulldogs vs the 15th-placed Gold Coast Titans at CommBank Stadium, Sydney. The Bulldogs gave South Sydney a run for their money last week, before some individual brilliance from Latrell Mitchell took the game away from them. The Titans also gave the Broncos a run for their money, however they were missing key origin players and still managed to get the W. The Gold Coast have won 4 of the past 5 games against Canterbury, as well as 3 straight, with their last meeting being a 34-6 point thumping. I'm going to Canterbury to win this one by 1 to 12 points. I think that they have more strike players than the Gold Coast and should be able to get a win at home. And the final game of round 19 is the 2nd-placed North Queensland Cowboys hosting the last-placed Wests Tigers. The Cowboys had their winning streak snapped at home last week by a game Cronulla Sharks outfit, however the Cowboys were missing key origin player. The Tigers almost managed to get past a B-grade Penrith Panthers lineup, however they conceded a try in the last few minutes to give Penrith a 2-point victory. The Cowboys haven't beaten the Tigers in Townsville since 2014 and the Wests have won 5 of the past 7 against North Queensland. However, the Cowboys are serious contenders in 2022 and should have an absolute field day against the Tigers in front of their home fans. Cows 13+. So in summary, I'm taking the Broncos by 1 to 12, the Sea Eagles and the Roosters 13+, the Warriors 1 to 12, the Panthers 13+, the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs by 1 to 12 and the Cowboys 13+. Let me know who you're tipping for round 19 in the comments below and subscribe to never miss a video.